our show. We are here with lawyer Shadrack Wambui. He's very vocal in holding the government to account, and I would want him to introduce himself so that we can continue. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Faith. Yes. Well, my name is Shadrack Wambui.
Yes.
I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya.
Yes.
I am the chairperson of a non-governmental organization we call Sheria Mtaani na Shadrack Wambui. I am a law lecturer at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. And above all, I pride myself in being a father of two. Yes.
Great. So tell us more about Sheria Mtaani. What is it about?
Well, Sheria Mtaani is an initiative that was born in the year 2018, immediately after my admission as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I was admitted on the 27th day of March 2018. That is when I signed the role of the advocates. But you know, my journey of becoming a lawyer is one that is quite eventful. Because I recall that growing up in the slums of Mathare, I had difficulties with the police. And we had problems with, we had problems with people, having difficulty in accessing justice.
Yes.
So the very idea of me becoming or wanting to become a lawyer and subsequently becoming a lawyer was actually motivated by my upbringing.
Yes.
Then now, since I knew that lawyers are not very cheap to come by, so I had to develop a scheme or develop a platform where I will work with other like-minded individuals to give access to justice to people.
Yes.
Especially people who are vulnerable, people who cannot afford lawyers, and people who are generally yearning for justice. So that is how I invented Sheria Mtaani na Shadrack Wambui. So it's an non-governmental organization that is composed of young lawyers generally.
Yes.
So young lawyers who are very eager and enthusiastic about the legal profession and the quest to give people access to justice.
Yes.
So we give them a platform, they come in, then we open the door to people who are facing injustices. Then they help them, they volunteer themselves. So this is an initiative that we've been doing through and through. And beginning this Sunday, we are actually beginning our rotational legal aid clinics in Kajiado North constituency. So we want to be going around all churches so that we can, we can give people access to justice. Many are people who only want to speak to a lawyer.
Yes.
So from speaking to a lawyer, then they get solutions. They start getting fat, because their problems or their challenges have now been addressed. So even the high blood pressure that they were suffering from, goes down, largely because they have just had the interaction with a lawyer. So we do not want lawyers to be people who just sit in offices, lofty offices in towns and in big cities. Now we have another city called the Eldoret city.
Oh.
Yes. So we do not want lawyers to be sitting in town. We want lawyers to be interacting with villagers, to be in the village, to be with the people. So that people, so that people now get to understand that really this legal knowledge becomes now public knowledge.
Okay.
Yes, so that is the journey of Sheria Mtaani na Shadrack Wambui.
Oh, wow, that is very nice. There is a lot of joblessness from the youths, and I've seen that you do a lot of activities out there to help the youths. I've seen you doing car wash, I've seen you doing boxing. How do you manage these things, and also what is the agenda also for our youths?
Thank you, Faith. Well, over and above being a lawyer, I'm an amateur boxer. I've been boxing for the better part of my life. And I even introduced my sister to boxing. Now my sister, because of the boxing, she was employed at the Kenya Defense Forces. She's a soldier whose work basically is to box. Now you recognize that we are way past the traditional ways of employment. so that now encouraging people not only to look at books, it's important. Not all of us can be as gifted as I am. Not all of us can be as gifted as other people. But we can have our different skills, like the cameraman that we are having here. So these are people who are gifted differently. And it's because of their good eye at that lens that they have employed themselves to do what they are doing. So we do not want to tell them that if you do not become a lawyer or if you do not become a doctor, then you are doomed. No, we need to encourage people, and that is why even from the skills I have learned over the years, I'm able to pass them to younger boxers. I have motivated my sister. My sister is now employed because of the boxing. So she does not have to be a lawyer like myself. Again, when we came up with this Sheria Mtaani na Shadrack Wambui, we've been having difficulty raising funds, and we run so many programs that require money. But you see, people don't like, being solicited money every now and then. It is not a very good thing to ask people something that they are needy of. People do not, even while we encourage people to give generously, people sometimes have difficulty in giving. So we've been experiencing that, and we've been trying to write proposals. They have failed. So what we resolved doing is coming up with our very own ideas, income-generating activities that can help the men and women we interact with on a daily basis. Some of which we have rescued from prisons. Some of which we have rescued from social ills in the society. So we give them this opportunity to join us. In this car wash. So this car wash, the setup is in Ongatarongai. So as you get to Ongatarongai at Masai Lodge, next to Ola petrol station, you have Poleleka car wash. Poleleka car wash is an invention of Sheria Mtaani na Shadrack Wambui. So that we now have an income generating activity. This income generating activity, number one, we get to pay people using commissions. So we teach people the value of hard work. Hautakaa tu maembe alafu upate pesa. So we tell you, you want to wash. Because, wash is very famous in town. So we introduce you to wash, where you wash a car with a soap and water and you get money. So hiyo ndio wash tunafanya pale Rongai. Then those gentlemen, we have created a house for them. They have accommodation. So they have somewhere where they sleep. Faith, you will come and visit us.
Visit.
Yes, those young men and women also we have a feeding program. So they contribute 10 shillings.
So even women, they join the car wash?
Yes.
They also do the work?
We have women, so they contribute 60 shillings daily.
Okay.
So 60 shillings is meant to serve for, they take breakfast. Some of them actually eat better than you even from your home. Wanakula chapati ine, wanakunywa chai iko na maziwa. Then they eat well, they have meat, they have ugali, they have rice. Out of 60 shillings, that is their feeding program. And then they also get the platform where they can generate income. Then we have partnerships with Heptac, healthcare, chemist, pharmaceutical. So when our young men and women at the car wash are having challenges with their health, they just go there, they take drugs or medicine, they consult doctors for free. This is catered for by Sheria Mtaani. So Sheria Mtaani through, of course, Poleleka car wash. So, of course, these initiatives are meant to help them. Now we have expanded. We have brought in even tents for hire and seats for hire. So this income is going back to Poleleka car wash. This Poleleka is, the income is also going to assist these gentlemen. We have outreach programs with people from Boda Boda, where we have programs together. Next week we shall be having a program with the Boda Boda riders in Matasia and Olkeri, parts of Kajiado North constituency.
Boda Boda, you have purchased for them, or it's more?
No, we've not purchased for them. So what we have done, we have taken a number of Boda Boda riders to school.
Okay.
So we've tried to also give them like formal training and proper papers, so that they can just plow their trade without the fear of being arrested by police officers.
Yes.
So we've also tried to improve their working environments. For example, we've built for them, a number of them, sheds. where at least they can continue doing their businesses without, you know, the difficulty that comes with the scorching sun, sometimes the heavy downpour. You remember we had heavy downpour, El Nino. Yes. So we just try to give them working environment. Ours is not to give people money. We do not have money. We also suffering. We want money to patia pesa.
To fish.
Yes. So we show them. Yes, we show them how to fish. Next week on Friday, through of course partnership with the ACK St. Stephen's Olkeri in Kajiado. So we'll be having a sit down together with all these border riders. So we want to give them a talk on financial, you know, empowerment, and then of course a talk on, you know, drug abuse, so that some of them can liberate themselves from drug abuse. So this is largely what Sheria Mtaani has been doing. We do not only go to court to represent people, to fight for them. We also try to fight for them so that they live well, and some of them so that they can avert some of these challenges, like the temptations of stealing, you know, temptations of being wayward or drug addicts. Yes.
Yeah, that is very encouraging, especially to our young generation who are nowadays going through a lot. Now, you have been very aggressive in holding government to account. Yes. And recently there have been these movements about Gen Zs, and do you feel that whatever that they have done, all these protests and whatever, have it borne any fruits, or where are we heading?
Well, for at least for us to have some disclosures, I was a part of the people who are on the streets.
Yes.
I mean, you know, if you keep silent when we are being oppressed, you're actually in bed with the oppressor.
True.
So it is important that for whatever it's worth, if you witness an injustice, you must speak out. If you can't speak out, just stand up. Stand up and, you know, stand on the way of the oppressor, so that he or she realizes that you are not a visitor in this country. I mean, you've been here for the past 2 years or so, when this current government took, you know, the instruments of power. They had promised Kenyans so many things.
Yes.
Only for us to, you know, wake up to the year 2023, when we had our first budget, and we had the introduction of, you know, this housing levy.
Yes.
Well, when all of us who are unemployed thought that does not affect us, so we should not worry about them. Let them fight using Okia or Mutata in court and fight against that housing levy. Only for this government, now, you know the problem with giving people an inch, they take a mile. So after the government took an inch in the year 2023, in the year 2024, we saw them now taking a mile by introducing all manner of taxes through the finance bill that was later on, you know, thrown into the dustbin.
Yes.
Now, one thing that you will recall is, even with, you know, some of the promises that the government were giving us, that, you know, we want to tax the more, or we want to tax people the more, so that we can come up with different projects. You know, but you see, the understanding amongst the youth and people who have been very, you know, alive to the realities of this country is that this government was taking us, or has been taking us around. Now, and you will see some very lavish lifestyles from some government officers. People wearing very expensive watches and, you know, driving choppers and all manner of things. People whose wealth have increased from, and you saw even recently, even in the vetting of the cabinet secretaries, over the past 2 years, someone's wealth has increased over 200 million or 150 million. So even people are wondering, instead of giving our monies to these stock markets, why can't we just give some of these cabinet ministers some of our money, so that, you know, they can tell us the trick that they are using to multiply their monies in 10, 20, 100 folds in a record time of 2 years. So really the discomfort that we've been having as young men and as, you know, citizens of the Republic of Kenya is what now took us to the streets, to cry, to tell the government that, you see, we have Article 37. After our parliamentarians our parliamentarians, you know, I live in Kajiado North, and, you know, we have there some parliamentarian there who went and voted yes for this bill. You know, we are living in an area where we have freehold lands. So freehold lands, you know, these old people and ourselves probably decided to buy these freehold lands so that we could not be told by the government to pay rates to these lands. But now you have an MP of representing this area who is not alive to the realities of the ground. Going to parliament, of course, I think he's been sleeping through and through. And waking up and voting yes without understanding the repercussions of what he's voting yes for as far as his people are even concerned. Yes. So to that extent, then we thought, well, let us now speak for ourselves. Because the people who we have chosen to represent us in parliament cannot think for ourselves. They have been bribed, you heard. They were bribed 2 million shillings to go and pass this bill. So really, because of that discomfort that we had to go to the streets. Then now, after going to the streets, the government, you've been seeing the government, you know, like a droning man clutching at a straw, looking for all manner of excuses. You know, it's Ford Foundation that has sponsored us. I have never received anything from Ford Foundation. I've been going there alone, protesting together with others because of the, you know, I am alive to our realities as Kenyans. Now, over and above that, you had the government just the other day pointing fingers at some people who are either associated or aligned to, you know, the current deputy president.
Actually, I was to ask you about the Gakuya and Major Dong.
Yes.
The one you represented the other day.
Yes, yes.
Being intimidated by the government and being told that they have sponsored this called illegal protests.
Yes, yes.
How do you say about that?
No, of course, all of us know that is not the truth. The government is trying to distract us from the reality. The government knows too well. The cry on the street has been one, accountability. Number two, transparency. Number three, work for us. Don't just tell us, you know, you are there living well and all of us are suffering, and yet you are living out of our taxes. So it is not in order. That was the cry in the streets. It is not a question about Rigathi Gachagua. It is not a question about these MPs. So these MPs are being taken as scapegoats. The deputy president, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, is also being taken as a scapegoat. I mean, you see, they have been fighting in their bedroom. Now, they are bringing their disagreements to us and trying to associate us with their problems. So we have our problems, and our problems are actually a creation of them who are in government. So they cannot now start pointing each other so that they can distract us from the reality. Nobody has been sponsored by Rigathi Gachagua. Nobody has been sponsored by Ford Foundation. We have been sponsored by them. It is them who have motivated us. The government has motivated all of us to go to the streets. In fact, even after motivating us to go to the streets, to cry against the injustices that they are visiting upon us, they've been killing some of our friends and colleagues. I have a friend who was shot at the spine. So really, right now, you know, we are trying to see, the doctors are trying to see what they can do to help him. You've been seeing so many news items.
During protest?
Yes, the protest of the 25th day of June.
Okay.
You know, I was a few meters away from Parliament.
Oh,
like, yes, I was almost there. There is a wall there, and then they started shooting everybody everywhere. So, you know, my mom is also depending on me, so I had to to take cover. You know, yes. But the reality is that, well, we are unhappy about the manner in which the government is being led or directed.
These things that they have tried maybe to streamline, like bringing in new CSs. We have seen him saying that there is this new funds for the universities and other things. Do you think something is being done? And also, he has now taken some of the people who are very vocal, holding the government to account, and he has taken them inside the government. Do you think he is trying to streamline things?
No, Faith, honestly speaking, you know, we are having, you know, different forest, but the monkeys are still the same. Yes, yes. I mean, the president to be very honest and frank, the president has not, shown quite, he's not demonstrated concern to the cries that we, the youth of this country, were crying. He's just gone ahead and picked some old folks, the same old faces, and imposed them into our cabinet with the hope of changing. There is nothing that is going to change. What is done?
Maybe they will come with some of the solutions.
No. What the president is just a clever chap on matters politics. It is just the old tricks of divide and rule. Things were used in the 17th centuries. Divide and rule. You see, we had two factions that had gone up against the government. We had the opposition, and then we had now the youth, the generation, the Gen Z and the millennials of this country who are on the streets. Now, the president, being witty as he is, of course, he saw that now, you see, for me to break this bond, the bond of these opposing forces, I just take one. So he just lured one with the 4 government positions, and then, of course, with some small pleasantries and sweets and here and there. So that is what happened. But really, I don't think that there is good faith in the manner in which the government or the president has done his new appointments. There is nothing new. In fact, the initial indication that we got from the president was that he's going to dismiss, and he dismissed all the cabinet secretaries. So we did not expect to see any one of them, including Professor Kithure Kindiki, going back there. And yet he's been there while youths are being killed. Yes, he's been there. A whole professor who taught law and human rights. You wonder, what do they drink when they get there?
Compromise.
Yes.
Now, about the law, there are so many misconceptions about the law. And you being one of legal fraternity within the country, what are some of these misconceptions that you have gone through?
Well, people don't believe in the legal process. That is why probably people will rush to bribe police officers. Perhaps because of their lack of faith with the judiciary or the legal process, largely, because you see the judiciary is just but a player within the legal process. So I don't think hope should be lost on this issue. Hope cannot be lost. We need to keep hope alive. We need to realize that, well, we have a democratic country here. We have a constitutional democracy. We have a working constitution. We just need to be bold. And we just need to be very courageous in the manner in which we want to look at things. Let us not opt for shortcuts. Let us remember that shortcuts are usually wrong cuts. And most often than not, I've seen people who end up bribing you here and there, and then they end up now in court. Poorer than they would have been if they had just submitted themselves to the authority of the court and waited for the court to adjudicate on the dispute. But now, because you are just taking shortcuts here and there, so you end up now being hopeless as an individual.
And due to the technological disruption, has it affected your area of practice? Well,
I think technology in itself has been an enabler. It's an enabler in as much as in as far as access to justice is concerned. Because, well, right now, from the comfort of my office in town, I can easily, represent a client in Mombasa, represent a client in Meru, represent a client in Kakamega, and represent a client in Thika while still sitting in my office at the CBD.
What about the clerk now who are working in your office?
You know, the clerical work is not yet done. I know we've had to, long time ago, lawyers had to employ so many associates. I know they have cut down on associates, and which has had an effect on employment of young lawyers. I mean, technology has consequences. Change in itself is inevitable, and it comes with consequences. So, but I don't think all is lost for us. Even those clerks that work for us still have an opportunity. We still have letters that need to be sent around. We still do not want to rely entirely on the emails that we are given, because some of the emails that we are given, some of them bounce. So it is important, over and above relying on the technology, it is important equally to also use the old and traditional means. Yes, technology is just but an enabler to make work easier while we are trying to assist people.
Some of the challenges in legal profession?
Well, challenges, we say that in this field, the only way of you becoming poor in this field is if you run away from people. Again, if you do not have a good network, which means you are away from people, then it equally means that that becomes a challenge on its own, because it is these people that give you business. So if you're not well known, it becomes very challenging. If your skills are not believed, if you're not trustworthy, and you know being trustworthy comes with being known. So if you're known, you become easily trustable, or you can be trusted easily. But if you're not known, if you're just a young lawyer who is trying to fight his footing like us here in the city, in the CBD, sometimes it becomes very difficult for us. So we have to rely on our gods, small gods, and we have to also pray very hard to God to send us this client who is going to come and give us the brief of our lifetime. You know, we have briefs of our lifetime.
How do you see the role of young people in shaping the political future, our political future?
Our time has come. As young people, I believe our time has come.
Yes.
It is enough, you know, crying and pussyfooting and trying to find middle grounds and trying to balance between. No, it is important that we realize that this is our country. We're not visitors here. So if there is something that is going wrong, we just need to speak out and against it. Just need to point a finger and say, whatever is happening there is wrong. So, and you know, they cannot kill all of us. Yes, how will they go to the IMF and ask for funds? So really, they will need us to be alive so that they can lead us. So for us as young people, I think the time is ripe for us to actively participate in the political governance of our country. It is enough that we have been, bystanders. It is enough that we've been sleeping on the day of the elections. It's enough that we've not been participating in these elective positions and saying, wale wazee mabuda watachukua. No, it is now, time is ripe. And I'm hoping that come the year 2027, most of us, if not all of us, will come out and run for, MCA.
Positions.
Yes, all the positions that are there in this country. And there is something I want to say. We do not have a barrier, at least an age limit on who can lead us as a president. So as long as you are a voter in the Republic of Kenya, you can be a president, a presidential candidate. So we also want, like Burkina Faso and these other countries, we also want a young president.
Yes.
I don't know if you people are going to bless me to become your president, but we will see with the changes of time whether you will want us to become your president.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, you see, some of these things you also want to grow gradually. Yeah? You know, you might be given this country and then they start saying on the street, Shadrack Wambui must go. Shadrack Wambui, you know, it's becoming very dangerous.
Yes. Now, you tell, just encourage some of these youths who are upcoming, especially in the legal area, and also just the final remarks as we wind up. Yes.
Well, I think to the youthful generation that are watching us and hearing from us, while even I thank you for inviting us here, I ought to have said it even earlier. But, well, it's never too late to show gratitude. So really, the one thing I would like to tell the youthful generation of this country, and even the world at large, is that payday will come.
Yes.
That payday, the day that you want, that will change your fortunes, change that of your family and the people you love, that day will come. But that day will not come if you are just sleeping. You are just at the base, jaba. You are just eating jaba. That day will not come if you are just idling. That day will not come if you're not honing skills and, exposing yourself to challenges.
Yes.
So for us to enjoy this payday, for us to be prepared for this payday, because we need to be prepared, we need to hone our skills. If you are a shoe shiner, you must be known to be the best shoe shiner. If you are a lawyer, please represent people zealously, represent people faithfully. If a client has no cause, tell them they have no cause. Now, if you are given an assignment, please go over and above the obvious limits that we will be expecting. Put your best foot forward. That is what I would like to encourage the young men and young women.
Also to our leaders, maybe government officials, what should they do differently?
The government should listen to the people. They are representatives. Article 1 of the Constitution tells us that they are exercising delegated authority. We've delegated our sovereignty to them. So hizi nafasi sio zao. The member of parliament should not just be, should not just take a lot of pride in being a member of parliament. He should take pride in being a voice of the voiceless, the voice of the people. But now, what we have been seeing is, we elect them, but once they get into parliament, they become now the voice of the president. They no longer listen to the common mwananchi. So that is the problem that we've been experiencing through and through. And that is the reason why we've had to go to the streets, and we've lost so many of our loved ones, we've lost so many of our young men, and others have remained behind, maimed, and even bedridden. So really, the leaders, what I would like to tell them is, let them learn to listen to the people, the voice of the people. Let them represent our people. Even the people who voted no, have they died because they voted no? There is some stupid talk, I'm sorry. There is a very cheap talk that is being propelled or propagated by these MPs who voted yes. They come to the village and tell us that, I voted yes because I do not want the president to deny us funds to build our roads. You can come to Kajiado North. I mean, we have pathetic roads.
And they voted yes.
And you voted yes. So why are you even there? What are you even helping us with? So the 2,000 that they took, I think they have taken that should be their life savings. They should use it forever and ever after.
Yeah.
Yes.
We thank you very much. We will invite you again.
Yes.
And also all our people who are watching this show. You have been very vocal and also encouraging the youths, and also we thank you very much, and pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith, and God bless you. God bless our cameraman here. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. You have a wonderful space. And whatever you're doing is great. Eh? Yeah. It's great. It's important that we mentor others. The Bible, I'm not a very good reader, but the Bible proposes at some point in the books of Proverbs that, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
So it is important that we keep on lighting each other. And when you light another person's candle, yours will not go off.
Yes.
So let us just keep motivating each other.
Yes.
We have enough dead people. We do not have to die to learn lessons. Let us just educate each other through this channel, whatever you're doing, whatever, even the initiator of this whole idea is doing. May God bless her richly.
Thank you. Thank you very much for watching the Mentor Show. My name is Faith Karanja. I'm sitting in for Tina, who is my senior in this show. See you next time.